Hi everybody, it's Kayla and welcome back to Speed Build Sunday. You know what? No one ever talks about my lights. Look at this. I match my lights to my shirt every day and no one ever says anything, but I think today's a good one, so I thought I would point it out. Anyway, today we are building a micro home in Strangerville. I know. Shocking. What is lilsimsie doing in Strangerville? How dare she? But I decided that I wanted to build like a little Victorian sort of inspired micro home. And I feel like, I hate to say it, but I feel like it kind of matches this world. And so I built it over here. Do you know what else? The lighting on this lot is terrible, but the background of this lot is adorable. So I decided to just suck it up and build it here. And honestly, I think it turned out really cute. I had so much fun building this. I don't know what it is, but micro homes just get me, you know? I love them so much. I have so much fun trying to build tiny houses. Oh, it's not a micro home. It's a tiny house. It's technically 64 tiles. My bad. It's a tiny house, not a micro home. False alarm, everybody. I'm sorry. But either way, it's still a very small house. You'll see I did a few tricks to try and get some extra tiles because the way tiny houses work with tiny living is you can only have 64 tiles for the mid-tier tiny home. And if you go over that, you lose the perks and stuff. It doesn't count as a tiny home anymore. And so, for example, with the porch, if I used a room tool to like put it on a foundation or something, would count as tiles. And so I just put flooring on the ground and then was like, yep, that's the porch. So it's not raised or anything, but we didn't have the tiles to like make a raised porch. Cause honestly, like just the porch alone would make this house like twice the size because there's such a big porch. So it's not a real room technically. And also the balcony on top of that little side bit isn't a room either. So it still functions. Your Sims can walk over there and stuff. But if you click on it, it doesn't like count as a room in the game. The whole Sims 4 build mode is kind of based on rooms and this like interesting weird room system, and you kind of have to trick it a little bit and like do fiddly things like put 3 of the sides and then like put a second side on the ground and then pick it up and place it in instead of just drawing it, because when you draw a room it closes it, and so it takes some fiddling to make the game not see it as a room. But when you do that, you can have extra tiles, because I wanted this to be a 2-bedroom 1-bathroom house, and again it's really small and so I had to make do with some changes. For example, it's got a ladder instead of a staircase, but the staircase would have taken up so much space, and so while a ladder doesn't make the most sense, like it's not ideal for this situation. I would prefer to not have a ladder. If it were up to me, it wouldn't be a ladder, we'd have a staircase. But like the staircase would have taken up the whole downstairs. Like it's a medium wall height, so the staircase would have genuinely taken up the entire downstairs. Like we are not made of space. We're not made of money. We don't have that kind of luxury. And so I had to just put a ladder there, which isn't ideal again, but it works. There's also a full bathroom. There's a little kitchen with like a little island. There's a dining space. There's a fireplace. There's a living room. Plus there's 2 bedrooms. We've got a computer. There's even a bathtub. Like this house literally has it all. And I thought I was so clever putting that bookshelf in the living room as like a divider between the kitchen and living room. And here's the thing, right? In real life, this house would be really small and you'd want it to be as open and like wide open as possible to make it feel bigger. But I was like, forget that. I'm gonna put a giant bookcase right in the middle of it because the giant bookcase looks so cool. Like, sure, it makes the house smaller and more sad, but there's a giant bookcase that like divides the kitchen. Like how awesome is that? And there's like a ladder next to the bookcase. Like, oh, I think that's so cool. I loved how this looked, and so I kept it. Honestly, I don't even think this house feels that small. Like it kind of feels like a normal house. I think the ladder kind of makes it feel a little bit small, but this 64 tile tier, like you could easily make a decent sized starter home in a house this small. Granted, this house is not a starter home. This house is pretty expensive. So that isn't surprising. I mean, aren't we all? Aren't all of my houses expensive? You'll see I did play test it. I just got a random sim and brought her here so that I could test that like everything functions. And it does. She can sit everywhere. She can use all the chairs. She can get upstairs. She can get downstairs. Everything is completely fine. I knew it would. The Sims 4 Sims are pretty smart. And also I've been building so much that I kind of know like when things are going to be functional and not. You can look at it and kind of tell. But sometimes with like tiny hallways like this bedroom looks like it's cutting it a little bit close. So I wanted to like triple check that it was actually functional before I put anything down for real. But it is, don't worry. And also the fridge door kind of clips with the island counter downstairs, which isn't ideal. I mean, you know, you would hate to like knock the door on the counter every time you open the fridge, but it's The Sims, so it doesn't matter. It's just like a visual clipping issue. It still functions. It still works, and that's all that matters. So, I mean, it might matter to you, but like I said, I don't care. Clip all you want. I had a lot of fun furnishing the kids' bedroom though, because I love the university furniture. I like never use it. There's a reason I never use it. It's because that desk is so annoying. When you try to put a computer on it, the computer like overhangs a little bit off the desk. Like the keyboard is like ever so slightly dangling off the desk. And like the idea of that happening in real life, like your keyboard being at the very edge of the desk, I'm like picturing myself trying to type like that right now, and it feels so awkward. Your hands like this, like a T-Rex or something. I don't know. Not ideal. So it looks kind of ugly when you have your Sims actually use that desk, because it kind of like bumps in a little bit like that. But the desk itself is a nice color. I think it's pretty. So I used it anyway. And like the blue and green kind of worked out well. I put like some postcards on the wall. I thought it was adorable. The downstairs is like pink and green, which is less adorable. It's kind of weird, I'll admit it. The pink and green's a little bit odd, but you know what? It's like this weird Strangerville Victorian house. Like, what do you expect? It's not gonna be nice. It's bound to be weird. It's like a guarantee. And then with tiny homes, I always go like all out in the backyards, because you have so little space in the inside that you have this outdoor arena to like do whatever you want. And so I put a pool and like a fancy patio, and there's this beautiful landscaping, and like I really went all out there. Also, I'm noticing as I'm furnishing this house, like watching back this people, there's just like a bowl of mac and cheese on the counter, because I had that sim to play test and to make food to see if the kitchen worked, and I just left the mac and cheese out. That's so gross. Imagine buying a brand new house, like you buy this beautifully renovated, furnished home, you know, and then you walk in and there's just a bowl of old mac and cheese sitting on the counter. That is just half eaten, by the way. Disgusting. That is disgusting. I'd hate to have to wash that dish if it's been sitting out like that for like probably weeks. Oh, gross. Gross. It's like crusty. I'm sorry. Many of you are probably eating. If you're anything like me, you probably like watch YouTube videos while you eat, and I'm sorry if you're eating something and I'm talking about crusty old mac and cheese, because that's really unpleasant. So I'll stop. I don't know why I said it again. My bad. Do you know what's kind of wild? This house only took me an hour to build. I was watching back the footage like to cut it down and stuff for the video, and I was like, I don't even need to cut this down. It's only an hour long. Like for the most part, my builds usually take me honestly like 3 hours on the dot. I've gotten so used to building while I'm on stream that my brain has this like inner schedule to like how long it will take me to do an exterior and interior and stuff. Obviously bigger houses are different, but like to an extent, like every house I build, no matter the size, unless it's like a mansion, takes me like 3 hours. I don't know why. I've just been building on stream like every day for years, and now I'm just like in that zone where like every single build takes me 3 hours. This one only took an hour though, and then when I cut it down, like when it sped up, it's like exactly 10 minutes, which made me laugh because I was like, haha, 10-minute video, haha, mid-rolls. Get it? You know what? They changed that recently though. Before, there used to be jokes about how YouTube videos would be like exactly 10 minutes long to get mid-rolls in them and stuff, but they made it so they only need to be 8 minutes long to have a mid-roll recently. So you'll start seeing 8-minute and 1 second long videos instead of 10-minute and 1 second long videos. I never really bothered with that. I feel like most of my videos are 10 minutes long anyway. Like for the most part, my videos are like 20 to 30 minutes long. So like I never really had issues with the 10-minute thing before, but I know a lot of people that make different content sometimes struggle to like meet the 10-minute mark. I don't know. I've never really had that problem. Like making Let's Plays, they're not going to be 10 minutes long, you know? And like builds like this, I could just speed it up less and then have it be 10 minutes long if I needed to, so it's fine. YouTubers will do anything for the mid-rolls, let me tell you. It's not true. I don't know. Do you know what though? As I'm looking at this backyard, I will admit that the backyard is like a little bit more fancy than the interior. It's like this beautiful fancy pool and this beautiful patio, and like the inside's this like old granny looking pink and green thing, which is okay. I like it. But I used a lot of debug landscaping on this one because I love how it looks. Like that tree from Get Together, you can see it in the front yard, is like my favorite item in the game. And it's a debug tree, so we can't access it like without cheats, but it's free and it's adorable. It's like the best one in the game. Plus those giant bushes I was using are so cute. I really enjoyed landscaping this. I tried to kind of match it to the world around it. Like I used similar plants to what's around, like those pink and purple, white, I don't know. Those flowers are like around the lot. So I used those, but I also put a lot more bushes than are around. I wanted to have like a very luscious green lot, even though it's in Strangerville and it's like a desert. I wanted it to look a little bit more green and pretty. Plus, then you could put this lot like anywhere and have it still make sense. Like if you posted this in Willow Creek, it would look fine. I don't know, but for the most part, it blends in pretty well. I think the plants help. And all in all, I think it turned out pretty cute, aside from the fact that it's in Strangerville and there's like little bulbs of alien plant just popping up everywhere. Oh dear God. Do you know what? I've talked about playing Strangerville again recently because the Star Wars pack came out, and like I was talking about maybe trying to replay Strangerville eventually. I haven't played Strangerville since it came out like 2 years ago. I thought about playing it again, but like it's very repetitive. I mean, the whole thing is just like, hey, go here, talk to this guy. Hey, go here, talk to a scientist. Hey, go here and click on this thing. Which is the same as the Star Wars pack. Like, it's just, they're all very samey. There's like some fun animations and fun lore behind it, but like at the end of the day, click and talk to someone. Click and talk to someone. Like, it's not that interesting. I don't know. Maybe it is. You tell me. But I think on that note, we can pop into the game and look at this build. All right. Here is the house that I built. How much does it cost? I meant to check that before. As you can see, it's 64 tiles, so it's right on the cusp. It's a tier 2 tiny home. You get a ton of perks like double skills, less bills. House is like 43K still, but it is a 2-bedroom house. It's really small to be 43K. Do you know what? That's embarrassing. I'm sorry. But look at how luscious it is. So you can see like this floor isn't technically a room. Usually what I do for a porch is I'd stick like one of these floor pieces down, obviously, and then have that be the porch. But that adds tiles, and so we kind of had to fake it. So this is just like random floor tiles placed on the floor. I tried to make them interesting and like rotate them a little bit. I did this thing where I basically place like a tile here, and then if you press Control F, you can get little quarter tiles like this, and so I wrapped it around. I think it looks pretty good like that. On the inside, it's really small. You've got like a little kitchen space. You've got a little living space. This painting is the culprit, isn't it? That's really expensive. Nice little bathroom with big windows. Upstairs, we've got the 2 bedrooms. This porch is the same. It's not technically a room. You can see that usually when you click on it, it would be like a room up there, but it's not. The way you do that is actually very simple. Let me show you really fast. That's just like the roof of this room, right? And I was like, you know what I want is a balcony up there. And so what you do is you take it and you draw a wall on 2 of the sides. Technically 3 because this wall's here. But if you complete it, the game thinks it's a room like this, and then it ups the tiles. So instead, what you need to do is do just 3 of the 4 walls, and then you draw a little wall on the outside, and then you can move that up there. Oh, that didn't work. It's like not going up. Well, anyway, just do it anywhere else. Put it in this room for all I care. And then you can put that there, and then it completes it, but it doesn't think it's a room. It's sneaky, but it works. And then the outside has nice things like a fire pit and a grill and some lounge chairs. And like, look at that view. Stunning. Can I live here? No, it looks like it'd be really hot outside. Never mind. I live in Florida already. It doesn't need to be worse. Pass, never mind. But this house is on my gallery if you want to download it. If you've got any ideas for other builds that I could try, even other like micro homes we could try to build, because I think it's fun to build different styles of tiny homes, let me know. And on that note, I'm gonna go, so I will see you all tomorrow. Bye everybody. I like the color scheme of this house a lot. Something about it really speaks to me. I think it turned out cute.